Vertical slice architecture made easy. What is vertical slice architecture? Let's compare it to the traditional clean or layered architecture. The clean or layered architecture have services and controllers with endpoints. Each entity may have its own service or business logic layer, where we create methods to get all, get by ID, update, create, and delete from our entity. Then each entity may have a controller. This is dependent on the services, and we inject the service into the controller. In the controller, we define our get, post, put, and delete endpoints. This architecture is still very valid for large enterprise applications, especially if multiple teams work on different parts of the same feature. Some drawbacks are that it's not coherent. For example, a feature's service and endpoints are distributed across multiple files. Also, one is dependent on the other through dependency injection. With vertical slice architecture, the handler, or service, or business logic, and the endpoint resides in one file per feature. So, the Get All Movies feature, for example, is one complete file, or unit. It is coherent. Every feature is one complete file. This also makes more sense programmatically. If you want to maintain a feature, you can do it in one file. The drawback of vertical slice architecture comes with larger systems where entities cross each other. For example, the update feature of one entity may need to make changes in multiple other entities. But overall, it maintains separation of concerns very well. This demonstration will clarify what we mean by vertical slice architecture. We'll create a new Web API project. You can untick controllers. We won't be needing controllers in VSA. In our API project, we create a Models or Entities folder and add a simple movie entity. This has an ID, title, genre, and release year property. We're using a SQL Server database in this demo, so we'll need the Entity Framework Core SQL Server package. Check to install a version compatible with your project. And we'll also need the tools package for migrations and database updates. Next, we added a repositories or data folder, if you're like, and add a class to it called Movies DB Context. This class will inherit from DB Context, for which, of course, we'll need the Entity Framework Core package. We'll let the IDE install that for us. Inside, Copilot suggests the constructor and DB set for us. That's all fine. And of course, we register our DB context in program.cs. Make sure we're using SQL Server. That needs the Entity Framework Core package. Also, change the connection string name to something more meaningful. Set up the connection string to your database server. We'll call the database MoviesDB, and we'll need Trust Server Certificate to be true. We're ready to go do our initial migration and create the database. Let's build the project first. In the Project Manager console, make sure you're inside the project folder and add an initial migration. The migration will create our movies table. Implement the migration with an update database. For demonstration, we simply went and manually added a few records to the movies table. Also, we'll need some data transfer objects to share with the front end. You don't need to use DTOs, and you can simply use the models or entities directly. But it's more common practice to share your entities through DTOs. We'll add a simple class library project to our solution. Give it a .shared name. Inside, add a DTO class for our movies entities. In this case, it's really just a one-to-one mapping. Right-click the API's dependencies and add the shared project. With the basics in place, we can start with our vertical slice architecture. We'll implement Mediator to assist us. Mediator is a popular abstract for orchestrating commands and queries we send to our repositories. In a nutshell, instead of injecting various services into controllers, we only need the mediator. It helps the endpoints call the correct commands and queries. You don't have to use mediator, but it makes things a lot more concise. Add the mediator package to your API project. Then, in the program CS file, register mediator to use your current assembly. Right, let's get to it. Vertical slice architecture works with features. So we added a features folder to our API, and our first feature is movies. Under movies, you'll create all the commands and queries that have to do with your movies. Each command and query is in its own file. It is a complete unit that contains the business logic and the endpoint. So each file will have a query or command, a handler that does the actual work, and an endpoint that can be called from our front end. Here's our first one, get all movies. It's obviously a query since we're retrieving data. It inherits from an iRequest that returns a list of movie DTOs. For the handler, we inject our DB context. It inherits from iRequest handler that takes the query above and the return type. Both the iRequest and iRequest handler are mediator objects. Inside the handler, we perform the actual action to retrieve the data and return the list of movie DTOs. For the endpoint, we use .core's iEndpoint route builder. We do a map get and specify the route, then use the mediator to send the request to the correct query. The with name gives the endpoint a proper name, and the with tag places this endpoint in a group called movies, and that's the complete get all movies slice in one file. Now there's one last thing to do in the program CS file. We have to map to the endpoint. If you may recall in clean architecture that uses controllers, you would have something like map controllers. Instead, since we are not using controllers, we map each individual endpoint. Before we continue with the other commands and queries for movies, let's test the endpoint using Scalar. Install the Scalar package in your API. In program.cs, map the Scalar API reference in the development section. We'll copy the API URL from its launch settings and run the API. In a browser, post the API's URL followed by /scalar/v1. All the movies endpoints will show on the left under the movies tag. We'll try our first GET request here, which is the get all movies. When we send it, it returns 200 OK and gives us a list of our demo data we set up. The next query takes an argument and retrieves a movie by ID. Again, it's pretty much the same layout as the get all movies request. This time, the handler uses the ID from the request to retrieve a specific movie. We map a get endpoint route that takes an ID argument and mediator sends the request. Next, we have a command request to create a new movie. This takes a movie DTO as argument. The handler uses the request argument to map to a movie model, saves it, and returns the newly added movie. The entity will contain the new auto-incremented ID. Our endpoint route is now a post. The update movie command is similar to the create, except now the handler first tries to retrieve the existing movie before changing it. The put endpoint takes an ID and a movie DTO. The last command is to delete a movie. It too takes an ID argument, finds the movie, and removes it. Our endpoint maps to an HTTP delete. We use the result to return appropriate action results. With that, we can just make sure we registered all our endpoints in program.cs and we're done. Let's go test them. We'll try the get movie by ID request. We give it the ID of an existing movie first. That seems to work. Now let's see what happens if we pass an ID that does not exist. We get a 404 and an appropriate message. Next, let's try the post to create a movie. We'll give the DTO some values. You don't need to do anything with the ID property. We get a 201 created and the movie with its new ID. Then we have our put or update movie endpoint. It takes an ID and a movie DTO. If all goes well, we get a 200 OK and the updated movie is returned. If we try to update a movie that does not exist, we get a 404 not found. When we try to update an existing movie but have a different ID in the DTO, it will update the movie whose ID matches the ID argument we passed. You may want to change your logic here in the handler if you like. Finally, our delete endpoint. We'll first give an ID of a record that doesn't exist. We get 404 not found, and then an ID that does exist. It returns the expected 204 no content when successful. We hope this video clarified and made vertical slice architecture easier for you. Thank you for watching our video. For more tutorials on C#, click subscribe. Give us a like so the video can be visible to more people.